descend from the natives?
But I ask you one question, sister. How did our forefathers came over? By slavery, right?
Yeah.
You know that was prophesied in the book of Deuteronomy, chapter 28, verse 16.
You got time for the word? This is what they ain't gonna tell us at church.
I'm starting at 15.
But that's the King James Version.
I know.
Yeah. They don't reteach you this.
It's a seal on this book to certain people. They can't get it like the way we get it.
Are you the pastor?
Nope. Read that.
This is the book of Deuteronomy, chapter 28, and verse 15.
Come.
And it shall come to pass, if thou wilt not hearken unto the voice of the Lord thy God, to observe and do all his commandments and statutes, which I command thee this day, that all these curses shall come upon thee and overtake thee.
Right. You gonna get into the curses too.
Here go one of the curses. And the Lord shall bring thee into Egypt again with ships. The word Egypt in the Bible means slavery or bondage or house of bondage.
Right. So who went on slave ships as a people? What nation of people?
Egypt. African American.
Yeah. So they show you that on the book on the movie Roots.
God. It never, when you look at the old slave signs, it never said Africans for sale. It said Negroes for sale.
Yeah, okay, Negro. That's what
Got
we
some
were.
more?
Back then, Negro, yeah.
And this is what he said once we get off the ships. By the
That's
way,
the word you can't use right now, though.
Yeah, they changed our names like 100 times.
I'll just finish this. By the way, I spake unto thee, and thou shalt see it no more again. We're not going to see our homeland Jerusalem no more again.
Which is Northeast Africa. It's actually on the plate of Africa. It's connected. It's really connected to the whole earth. You know what I'm saying? Europe, Asia, Africa. It's connected to all of them. You know what I'm saying? But it's on the plate. You know what I'm saying? For argument's sake.
And there you shall be sold unto your enemies for bondmen and bondwomen, and no man shall buy thee. Which means we're gonna be, once we get off these slave ships,
Our enemies too, white man.
he's so white man, he's the devil in the Bible that speaks of.
He got our book too.
But that's what,
This is our. You ever seen the Book of Eli with Denzel Washington?
when I watched Denzel Washington, he played Malcolm X.
Well, he was a Muslim, yeah, but when you watch the Book of Eli, they was trying to take this book from him, the Bible, the Holy Bible, and it showed you who had the book first. Symbolically, the black man had the book first, and they took it from us. You know what I'm saying?
This is our book. Now you know the description of Christ, right, is in the Bible, right? The color of Christ, the description, is written in the Holy
They
Bible.
say white, but he could be any color, can't
no,
he? Any
Yeah,
color.
he gonna get it. He gonna read. We
I'ma
gonna
show
break
you.
it down, since we gonna break it down.
Any color.
Go to the basics. Go on.
This is the book of Revelations, chapter 1. The revelations of Jesus Christ,
Right.
which God gave unto him to show unto his servants the things which mustly shall come to pass, and signify it by his angels unto his servant John. Because the word revelation in the ancient Hebrew tongue means the revealing. This is the revealing
Of our Lord and Savior.
of our Lord and Savior. I'm gonna just get straight to it. It's the Revelation chapter 1, verse 13. And in the midst of the 7 candlesticks, one like unto the Son of Man,
One like unto the Son of Man.
clothed with a garment bound to his foot. The same way how that brother got on.
This.
And a girt about the paps with the golden girdles.
He had a golden girdle around his midsection because this was a warlike apparel that he used to wear. You know what I'm saying? Keep going.
And his head and his hair
So it said his head and his hairs.
wool, like wool.
was white like wool.
Right, it didn't say his face was white, it was
The
white.
hair
It said
was
his
blue.
head and his hairs. Because if you look at a man who don't shave and got an afro, you gotta say his head and his hairs. Because it's all connected, it's all together. So you can't, that's how you're gonna describe it. You see what I'm saying? So read that again from the top.
Verse 14. His head and his hairs was white like wool.
Right, so it was wool, but it was white. Like his,
Gray,
right? But it
gray,
was-
gray wool hair.
Yeah, gray.
As white as snow.
Right.
And his eyes was like a flame of fire.
So he had red eyes because the Lord drunk wine, and then he was stressed for doing the work. People was trying to kill him. You know what I'm saying? He was going through a lot of stress, you know what I'm saying, being the Son of Man. You know what I'm saying? People was trying to put tabs on his life, man. You know what I'm saying?
And his feet were like unto fine brass. It's the color of brass. This is how dark he was. As if as if they burned in a furnace.
Right, so if you take it and burn it in the furnace, he was very black.
Dark skin.
I mean, darker than Wesley Snipes, you know what I'm saying? Darker than any dark skin, he was just black, you know what I'm saying?
And his voice had the sound of many waters.
So he had a loud voice. He spoke like the waters roared, you know what I'm saying? That's how loud his voice was, you know what I'm saying?
And it's also written in the Old Testament. I'll get that for you too.
Yeah.
It's the book of Daniel, chapter 10, verse 6.
Come.
Therefore I was left alone, and this great vision, and there remained no strength in me. For my comeliness was turned into corruption. I retained no strength. Yet I heard a voice of his words. And when I heard the voice of his words, then I was deep in a sleep on my face, and my face towards the ground. And Daniel was real scared when he seen Christ walking towards him.
And they were scattered the prophets back then. When you read the book of there's an account and I believe it's in Psalms when Samuel came to the city of Israel and they was scared. They said, "Do you come in peace?" You know what I'm saying? 'Cause they was always scattered the prophets, man. That's why the Lord always said, "Fear not," because he wasn't Prince Charming. You know what I'm saying? He was an austere black man. You see what I'm saying?
I'm gonna go jump up to 5.
Go ahead.
Then I lifted up my eyes and looked, behold, a certain man clothed in linen, whose loins was girded with the fine gold of Uphaz. That
Same
golden
thing.
girdle.
Yeah, same thing we read.
His body was like a barrel.
You know what that is? The barrel is like, you see how something shine? It got that shine when the sun beam on it. He shined. Like he had a glow to him. You know what I'm saying?
Like if a piece is good,
Yeah.
gold on the
You know, you got a chain. Yeah, you know, you got a chain, and if you clean it off, you can look at it. It ain't shining that much, but when you get in the sun, it's gonna be sparkling. That's how the Son of Man looks.
And his face has the appearance of lightning.
Yeah, so because he had a glow to him, he knew all things. You know what I'm saying?
And his eyes as the lamp of fire.
That was the God in the hill.
Yeah.
And his eyes as a lamp of fire. And his arms and his feet in the color of polished brass.
Now it's talking about his arms now, and his feet, like in color to polished brass. Now we read if you burn it in the furnace like that, he was very black. You know what I'm saying?
And his voice.
Well, we'll turn the skin dark or burn.
Yeah, get Songs of Solomon. We gonna get King Solomon
King Solomon.
Yeah. We gonna get that real. We ain't gonna hold you up, sister. We ain't gonna hold you up. We just want to show you that the Jews are black, according to the Bible. That these white people that's going around claiming to be Jews, they 100%, it's impossible for them to be the Jews, sister. It's impossible. Our people always say that they work us like a Hebrew slave. Like, it's a joke, but it keep going over our head every time. We are the Hebrews, you know what I'm saying? We are the Jews. Go ahead, get that.
It's the book of Songs of Solomon. Verse 1. The Songs of Songs, which is Solomon's.
Right.
This is verse 5. I am black, but comely, O ye daughters of Jerusalem, as the tents of Kedar, as the curtains of Solomon. Look not upon me, because I am black.
He said, don't look at me because I'm black.
Because the sun hath looked upon me.
The sun had looked upon me. What was he doing? Keep going.
My mother's children were angry with me. They made me keeper of the vineyard, but my own vineyard have I not kept.
So he was in the garden working. That's what he was in the garden working, and it caused him to get darker. You see what I'm saying? That's all in the book right there.
Like, you know, let me get just a couple things for you.
Alright, okay.
This is like you say, you're so-called African American.
Oh, I love it when I fill the application out, you know.
Right.
They want to know what's your nationality.
It's the same tribe that Yahweh Shah came from, or the world it could be called Jesus Christ.
Right. His name is Yahweh Shah, by the way.
In the Hebrew tongue, because the letter J never existed in the Hebrew language. But this is the color of the real Jews. The Jew is short for Judah.
Right.
The words of the Lord. Salak, this is the book of Jeremiah, chapter 14, verse 1.
Come.
The words of the Lord came to Jeremiah concerning the dirt. Judah mourning.
Right. Judah mourning.
The gates thereof languish.
Because our leadership was jacked up, just like it is right now.
They are black onto the
So
ground,
they are black unto the ground.
as the cry of Jerusalem is going up.
All right, read this, brother. This is the book from Babylon to Timbuktu, written by a scholar from Temple University. Read that. Yeah.
In the year 65 BC, the Roman armies under General Pompey captured Jerusalem.
Right.
In 70 AD, General Vespasian and his son Titus put an end to the Jewish state, with great slaughter.
Right.
During the period of military government of Palestine, Many outrages and atrocities were committed against the residue of the people. During the period from Pompey to Julius, it had been estimated at 1 million Jews fled into Africa, fleeing from the Roman persecution. The slave markets were full of black Jewish slaves.
So that's how this history right here. This is the history of the Israelites. We would see what happened was the book is called From Babylon to Timbuktu because you had Israelites that was over there in West Africa that set up societies that was so great. And this is another stuff that they don't tell you about our history either, man. A lot of our people, let me get to this. There's another passage in here. It tells you what they were. They were some of the best people on the west coast of Africa.
Like, you
One more cut.
like, you know, you got Christmas coming up, right?
Jesus' birthday.
It's not Jesus' birthday. Jesus was born in the spring. Like, think about when the springtime comes, life comes, right? The trees begins to grow.
Yeah.
So why would Christ
Every day begin to blossom.
why would Christ come in the dead of winter, right? That don't make no damn sense. But anyway, I'm gonna show you in the Bible. Literally, it tells us not to celebrate Christmas.
And look, let me say that too. The New Year's is not January either. That's another lie. Don't believe that. Because look at the trees. Look, after December it's gonna be January. It's gonna be still looking like this with snow.
Yeah.
That's not when you read the Bible, the Lord made everything. He made it. He didn't make it like this. He made everything blossom. You know what I'm saying?
Like
Flowers.
in paradise.
You know what I'm saying? Yeah.
Well, that's what
They don't
when I
know.
used to study with the Kingdom Hall some years back and stuff, and they was like how paradise was and everything, nothing but flowers and fruit,
Right.
the garden and everything.
Yeah, it was the harvest, man.
Everything was beautiful.
It was the harvest.
Beautiful, just beautiful.
All right, get that real quick.
It's the book of Jeremiah, chapter 10, verse 1.
Come on.
Hear ye the words which the Lord speaketh unto you, O house of Israel. Thus said the Lord, learn not the ways of the heathen,
Right.
and be not dismayed at the signs of heaven, for the heathens are dismayed at them. For the custom of the people are vain. For one cutteth a tree out of the forest, that the works of his hands of the workman with an axe. They deck it with silver and with gold. They fasten it with nails and with hammer, that it move not. They are upright as a palm tree, but speaketh not. They must need be born because they cannot go. Be not afraid of them, for they cannot do evil, neither also is it in them to do good. Like he was saying, right? They say they deck with silver and gold. What's that Christmas old deck? The with like that. La 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 la.
I'd rather
That's
have
the Christmas
I'd
scripture.
rather have Jesus than silver and gold.
Yeah, you're not supposed to celebrate that. That's an old Babylonian custom that we got from the ancient Babylonians.